Kiryu begins the story as kind of a shithead, collecting money on the side for a dude that isn't tied to the clan, a money lender. Though through this work, he beats the fuck out of some salaryman who wanted to live beyond his means, something that my old man could relate to since he died in massive debt, though a good deal of that was medical. Eventually, Kiryu ends up stuck in the middle of a plot so far beyond him that it crosses multiple cities, gets a lot of people dead or arrested, ends up dethroning his boss, and ends up with the narrator for JoJo's bizarre adventure at the head of the Tojo clan. A lot to have been involved with at the tender age of 20. I first played this game when I was around the same age actually, if not slightly older, but even then I could feel the similarities between us. Like a love for minigames, and the ability to lift most other humans, though, due to injuries, I can no longer lift people that weigh 300 or more pounds, but one day, I'll relocate 2 of my limbs and be able to deadlift plus-sized lads again. During his journey, he makes new friends and appreciates his old ones a bit more, but mostly the new ones. As I said before, the cracks in the relationship he has with his oath brother Nishiki shows off during the story of this game, helping to make what happens in the original game more meaningful. Let's begin a bit with him, relating back to how he helps mold Kiryu into the Tojo clan's plot device over the series. Through Nishiki, Kiryu is able to see almost a foil in some ways, where Kiryu starts out as just a dumb thug that needs his more savvy brother to help guide him in the underworld beyond just what to hit really hard. He eventually evolves into a man that, through the hardships of both civil and clan wars, comes out far ahead of where he began. His prestige is almost on par with his father's. His battle prowess is nearly unmatched, and he has accumulated enough financial acumen to ensure self-sustainability, at least until the taxes that Majima helped put into place came into effect, and he lost a good deal of his assets. In the beginning, Nishiki tried to explain how to get ahead by being a kiss-ass, but Kiryu just needed to kick some ass to get to where he needed to be. Nishiki just can't keep up with him. Kiryu is a monster in human form, a dragon amongst floundering fish. And for that, Nishiki will one day resent his beloved brother, but for now, through Nishiki, Kiryu is able to get some degree of savvy while realizing that the safe and slow method isn't his style. He needs to be brash and dumb and blunt. He's the protagonist of a series that rewards that behavior, with his villains often acting more like Nishiki, at least until characters like a certain pants-stealing Osakin crop up as legitimate threats for him to come out of retirement for. Next up, we've got the man that helps cut him into better shapes. Just as Vivek attempted to do so for his people, so too did Kuze unintentionally end up in the position as the King of Hell, the man of the underworld, that would act as the guardian for its deepest pits. One who would keep out Kiryu first out of pride, and then, well, he still says it's pride, but in the way he does it to make sure that Kiryu is ready for this shit. Ready to go up against another potential dragon. Kuze is the past of the Yakuza. Brash, violent, direct. With honor that can be best described as an idealized version of what a lot of older Japanese material would possess. Uncritical of authority, might making right, the leader needing to be a meathead capable of winning battles, not by being smarter, but by never staying down. Kuze doesn't seem to see the contradiction. The man that he works for, Sohei Dojima, did not gain his prestige and position through his own grit and mettle. No, he coasted off the successes of his underling Kazuma, building himself off the mountain of bodies created by Kiryu's father instead of off of any earned reputation or actions of his own. To say that Kuze is what's wrong with the old guard is a bit of a misleading notion. While yes, he's part of the problem, he's also more so a byproduct or just another cog in the wheel. The way the Tojo is set up, and indeed most organizations, is in a top-down manner. Power grows the further up the pyramid you get, with each descending layer getting less and less power, as well as things like income and prestige. The hierarchy is maintained via violence, as most hierarchies through history have. It's little more than something like feudalism, which seems to be how humans like to organize themselves over and over again. Time is a flat fucking circle. You can see it in how we're starting to see small pockets of control exerted by tech bros and the like. The loose grasp on anarchist theory that anarcho-capitalists possess, leading to situations not dissimilar to Andrew Ryan's Rapture. The ideology of a government assistance leech that hated her own sex, dying in hypocrisy, and followed by more sweaty out-of-shape trolls than those that follow Malakath. You know, I didn't wake up today thinking that I'd compare Ayn Rand to a Daedric Prince, but here we are. Anyway, Kuze tested Kiryu's might, his resolve, and my ability to tolerate grinding in Japanese games. Within Tachibana, we find the man that helped build up Kiryu's quiet dignity. That is, when he's not smashing up street thugs with bicycles and shouting like a fucking evil ape. The way he held himself had his convictions for the betterment of another, which could be read as merely self-satisfaction at their own sense of morality and honor being appeased, is something that we see in Kiryu over time as the series goes on. He's never truly happy until he can dedicate himself to the kids under his care, in the same way that we can only see Tachi happy when he is about to see his sister, or at least when he believes he'll be able to do so. Just as tragedy befalls the siblings despite their earnestness and just wanting to be reunited, an unambiguously positive thing, so too will Kiryu face similar tragedies across his entire life. It's in this game that he sees that a good cause and a chipper outlook aren't enough to get by in life. He needed to become a beast, a monster, a dragon. In Tachibana's death, he would find his voice of rage and ruin, the inner fire that would turn him into the worm that he was born to be. Not a scaled being laying atop a hoard of ill-gotten loot, but as a benevolent force of violence and wisdom, an irrepressible miracle in human form. His ascent towards heavenly virtues is one marked by violence. He may not have killed 6 billion demons. He may have trashed 6 billion goons. Time to reflect on what killed Abraham Lincoln. Daddy issues. Kazuma is his dad that he tried to aspire to until he realized that aspiring to be the ideal of him wouldn't get him to where he needs to be. He needs to believe in himself and live in accordance with his own values and methods. In the end, Kiryu needed to gain something for himself that he hadn't yet had. And that missing piece? It was faith in oneself. Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. I know not everybody has got a body like you. Oh, but I gotta think twice before I give my heart away. And I know all the games you play, 'cause I play them too. Oh, but I need some time off from that emotion. Time to pick my heart up off the floor. Oh, when that love comes down without devotion. Well, it takes a strong man, baby, but I'm showing you the door, 'cause I gotta have faith. Oh, you have faith, 'cause I gotta have faith, the faith. I gotta have faith, the faith, the faith. Baby, I know you're asking me to stay. Say please, please, please to go away. You say I'm giving you the blues. Maybe you mean every word you say. Can't help but think of yesterday and another who tied me down to lover boy rules before this river becomes an ocean, before you throw my heart back on the floor. Oh, baby, I've reconsidered my foolish notion. Well, I need someone to hold me, but I'll wait for something more. Yes, I gotta have faith. I gotta have faith, because I gotta have faith, the faith, the faith. I gotta have faith, the faith, the faith.
Oh! Oh!
I'll just have to wait, cause I gotta have faith. I gotta have faith. I got to have faith before this river becomes an ocean, before you throw my heart back on the floor. Baby, I've reconsidered my foolish notion. Well, I need someone to hold me, but I'll wait for something more. 'Cause I gotta have faith. I gotta have faith, because I've gotta have faith, the faith, the faith. I gotta have faith, the faith, the faith.